everyone, welcome to another session of Create with Emily. We are doing a quick and easy craft today that is so easy you can even do it in the back of your car, and that's where I am right now. I've been running errands all day and I decided that I was just going to show you it right here. So whether you're in your kitchen, in your backyard, maybe you even want to do this in your treehouse or something, you can totally do that because this is a quick and easy craft. Now, you might not want to do it in the back of your car because it does involve paint, and this is my mom's car and I might not have mentioned that, but that's okay because I have my cardboard box right here that is going to be my hard surface to paint on. So I'm going to be extra careful and just make sure you do this somewhere, whether you're outside or in your kitchen or your craft room or somewhere that you can have paint, because that is part of it. This is a great craft for any age because all it involves is paper, a color of paint depending on what ball you are going to make, a paintbrush, some scissors, and some painter's tape. So it's really like only 5 things that you need for this craft. And what we're going to do today is we're going to make an easy football. And this football is painted, and it is, you create the stripes with tape. So you only need one color, but the key is that whatever you want the stripes to be, say you're doing a baseball, you would want to either choose a red sheet of paper and then put your tape down and color it and paint it white, or you could just do a white sheet of paper and then trace around the tape depending on how good of taping you are. So the first thing we're going to do is, this is just your normal printer paper. I am going to cut a football out of this. So a football is basically an oval, but it has pointed ends. So I'm going to try and curve my ends just a little bit, because if you think of a real football, normally they're not like super pointy, but they have a curved edge. So all I'm doing is cutting out a football. Super simple. So if maybe your younger sibling is doing this craft with you, the cutting part might be something that you need help with, but as long as you have some kid-safe scissors, you'll be fine. So this is my football. Can you imagine me throwing it, tossing it? This is sports week, so we needed to create a ball, and I chose a football because it's one of my favorites. So I have my handy table right here. This is what I'm going to paint on, and I'm going to use it also to do the tape. So on a football, there are the little white stitching across it. It's like a line, and then it has like 4 littler lines across it, and those lines, oops, I didn't rip that long enough. Okay, so I'm gonna take my long piece, and this is gonna go in the center of my football. This is a good angle. You guys can see everything I'm doing. So I'm gonna make the tape straight. I ripped it, and I probably should have cut it. That way I knew the edges would be straight, but this will work. So I'm taking my tape, and I'm going right in the middle of the football. And you want to make sure that you press it down on all the edges. That way the paint doesn't seep under it. Then I'm gonna take my little piece here, and we're gonna make the ends of it straight as well. And it is going to, actually, I'm gonna do it a longer piece. That'll be easier, and it'll go all the way across. So I'm gonna cut 4 pieces of a tape that are about the same length. So there's number 1, and I'm just sticking them to my little work surface here. Number 2. Number 3. And number 4. Okay, so I have my tape here, and I'm just gonna cross it over actually may end up only using 3 of the pieces. It's up to you, however you want to do it. I think I am just going to use 3. My football is not quite big enough for 4. Okay, so here we are. This is the step. We've cut out our football and we've taken our painter's tape and put it right where a football would be. So now comes the fun part with the paint. So this is just brown acrylic paint. You could use any brown paint, and say you were making a basketball, you might be using black paper with orange paint instead. So whatever color you want to peek through, once you reveal your tape, you take it off and you reveal the color underneath of it, that's what color you want your stripes to be. So I'm just gonna squeeze some of this brown paint right here on my cardboard box and use my paintbrush, and I am just going to paint over all of the white. I really like this brown paint and the foam brush because if you think about it, footballs aren't always solid brown. Sometimes they're made of actual leather. If you're playing with like a real football, it kind of has a little bit of texture to it. That way you can grab onto it. So this brush kind of makes it look like that, but you can use whatever one you want. This would also be a fun craft to do with younger kids. You could use finger painting instead, because really you only use one color of paint. Oh yeah, I'm glad I used a foam brush. Uh-oh, it says my phone is about to die. All right, we have 20% battery. We can totally do that. So I am just painting over this. And it really does not take that much paint. If you wanted to do all the sports, you totally could. Just make sure you have the color paint and the color paper, and that's it. So I have my football here. It's still just a little bit wet, but that's okay. So you see how when I used a foam brush, it kind of made it look like an actual leather football. So what I'm gonna do is, I started on this end, so I'm going to peel up the tape on this end first. If you were making like a bunch of different balls, I would suggest maybe cutting them all out, taping them all, and then painting them all at the same time, kind of like an assembly line, because then you know, like, your paint will be dry and everything will be done the same way. Guys, this is so cool. I don't know if you can see it as I go, but look, as I take the tape off, it looks more and more like a football. This would be a fun craft to do with other things too. I'm trying to think of something else. If you guys have any ideas, put it in the comments. Something else, another craft that you could use painter's tape for and reveal a surprise underneath. I wonder, I know that you can use painter's tape, which is just this blue tape that I have. It comes off easy. I know you can use it to make stained glass windows. Like if you use your window and you use special paint, just don't use any paint, then you take it off and then it makes stripes everywhere. So here is my finished project, and I think my football looks pretty good. Do you guys know what these little spaces are in between the laces? If you don't know, that is where your fingers are supposed to go. So when you hold a ball, you throw your football like you're gonna put your fingers right in between the laces. So when you throw it, that's what makes it spin. Quarterbacks are always trying to get the perfect spiral throw. You know how they do that? They put their fingers right here in between the laces, and then they throw it and it spins. So here is our football. You can do this with any other ball that you want. You could do a tennis ball, a basketball, a baseball, a softball, whatever you want to make. But I figured this was the perfect easy craft for all ages for Sports Week. So thank you guys for watching and joining me in my car live. I think it went pretty well. there's no paint anywhere, and I didn't make a mess. So here's my football. I hope you have a great week and you guys enjoy the rest of our sports themed week. I will see you next week for some more fun. Bye guys, have a great day.